What's going on, YouTube? This is going to be just some of the Kyosho and Tomica stuff that I found today. Starting with this awesome Carmen Gia. Love these Kyoshos. Really starting to get into them. It's actually, I'll tell you guys, a lot of you guys probably know who he is, but the shop that I go to, I ran into, he's really kind of a diecast legend. He's pretty well known. He's on Instagram. A lot of you guys know who he is, but I ran into the toy pimp himself, Jeff. And he is my main source for this stuff. And he's extremely knowledgeable about diecast. I got a huge history lesson on Johnny Lightning, who he used to work for. And he pretty much only deals in these, they're not off-brands, it's mainline stuff overseas. It's just stuff that we don't get here in the U.S. Kyosho and Tomica are the two biggest, but he deals in everything. Welly, Shuko, just all kinds of awesome diecast. So he has a little shelf, and every probably every other Saturday or so, although I went the last two, I'll go and I'll try to grab some stuff depending on how often he restocks. And today was completely restocked. He happened to be there, which was awesome. He's a really cool guy, and I got some awesome stuff today. This is the Honda NSX. Awesome car. This is the Tomi Takara. So it's not quite as premium. It doesn't have rubber tires. But still lensed brake lights. And still really good detail. Really good detail. Even the interior. So another awesome car. These have suspension. Really cool. Here's kind of a shout out to at Free the Peace, Lamar. I know you have this in your collection. I'm not all that familiar with what it is. It's a BMW hybrid, I know that. And it's an interesting car. It's surprisingly heavy out of the package. There's so much plastic on it, I didn't think it would be that heavy. But it's actually a really heavy casting, which it's got a plastic base, plastic wheels, pretty much all plastic, so I don't know where all the weight is coming from, because it's a very heavy casting for what it is. Interesting BMW concept. It's actually kind of cool looking, I think. I'm not one of those hybrid guys that's all, I mean, they're cool for what they are, they serve a purpose, but I'm not one of those people that is hell-bent on going to an all-hybrid automotive platform. This one, Alfa Romeo TZ3 Corsa, kind of appealing to the eye for me, so I grabbed it. But anyways, one of these days, probably sooner than later, I'm going to do a video, a live. I don't know if I'll do live or not. It probably actually won't be a live video, but I am going to do a video of me heading to my local honey hole and kind of give you guys a first-hand experience of one of my Saturday hunts. This is an interesting car here. And kind of cool for those of you that watched the Super Bowl, Alfa Romeo did some pretty serious advertising. They are going to be making a comeback in the United States, from what I understand. So that'll be interesting to see. That's a cool little car, though. I actually kind of like it. Doesn't roll for crap. Every now and then you run into that with Kyosho. Here's one I'm not going to... Oh, what the heck? I'll take it out. Oh, shoot. Very, very, very hard to come by piece. It's a Tomica, I think. Now, as from what I understand, this was only available at Universal Studios in Japan. And it's a cool car. It's not nearly as nice looking as the Retro Entertainment or the Johnny Lightning. But it is, I think, a much harder to come by piece than either of those. Probably even harder to come by than the original Retro. I don't know that for a fact. I know here in the States it's harder to come by, but there might have been more of these produced. So that was kind of an interesting find. You don't see it every day, so I grabbed it. Here is, I found a few limited vintage cars. I've got the Kyosho 2-door in blue. And I have to say, I like the limited vintage, but there's something about the 2-door Kyosho that I like. For whatever reason, I like that one better. This is definitely detailed a lot better, I think. Maybe not a lot better, but I don't know. They're both really awesome, really nice. Metal body, metal base, rubber tires. No tread in this. Well, a little bit of tread on there. But very, very cool casting. Auto World quality detail in an import car. Alright, so I found a couple of these Kyosho Ferraris. I have already put them together. But just to kind of show you, kind of like an M2 Auto Kit, they come with their own little screwdriver. These things are tiny. I mean, tiny. Like, this is a 1:64 scale NSX, and you can see, I mean, it's just, they're really small. But for Kyosho to get the Ferrari licensing in the 1:64 scale, this is the way that it had to be done. They had to be sold as model kits. And the reason for that is because Barago, which is owned by the same parent company as Maisto, has the exclusive on Ferrari licensing, which is why Mattel with Matchbox and Hot Wheels is no longer, at least not for the time being, no longer making Ferrari castings. Well, I'll have to do that afterwards. But I have this in black. I showed it on one of my videos. I think it definitely looks better in red. You just see more of the lines, and you know, that's one of the things with the 1:64 scale. Black cars can can drown out a lot of the detail. So that's the only reason really I picked this up here in red. But he actually had a pretty good selection today of Ferraris, and I've been looking online, and I actually purchased online an F40 that, you know, unfortunately you gotta wait for those. They take a month or so to get here, so, but I didn't have to buy the 599XX Evo or the LaFerrari or the F355. I've got that one as well. I was able to get them locally, which is always better because it saves a ton of waiting around time. And, you know, I think it's that instant gratification thing. Especially when you're spending 20 or 30 bucks, you want it now. And that's one of the nice things about having a guy like Toy Pimp who brings it all across. And really, I mean, his prices are actually less than what eBay is by the time you pay for shipping. And actually quite a bit less, I think, because well, this one, was a little bit more difficult putting back together, and it's still not right. Those Kyosho screwdrivers they're so small that you can't get any leverage on them. But you need a really small screwdriver to get this. So I got it on good enough for now. I'll have to find my other smaller screwdriver to finish it. But this thing is awesome. He had this in black as well, which probably looks better, but I wanted something where you could really see the lines of the car. I have a couple of Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunts of this, the 599XX, and they're, you know, for being Hot Wheels, they are pretty nice pieces. I believe this to be my first Kyosho that does not have insert headlights. It is a very cool looking car. These mirrors are going to be interesting when if I ever move and have to pack this thing up. But I really like picking up 1:64 scale Ferrari stuff, especially stuff that's really highly detailed like the Kyoshos are. So really cool to find those. I only have a couple more here. Do this one. I've actually been looking, along with the Ferraris, I've been looking at getting one of these online as well, the 325i, and it was pretty cool that he had one. Like, he just put a bunch of new stuff in the case today. And there's some really cool stuff coming out from Tomica. There's a Honda Prelude that's going to be coming out. I think it's a recolor in April. And I don't know. I just think these are produced a lot at a much lower production rate than what we're used to here with Greenlight and Johnny Lightning and stuff. But this little BMW is really well done. Pretty amazing detail for a 1:64 scale car. Not sure what year this is. I would say it's probably late 80s, mid 80s, maybe early 90s. I don't know. I don't think it says anywhere on here. But these, as far as scale goes, these are very accurate. They seem really small, but they are actually really accurately scaled. If I was to put this up to, say, an auto world, which prides itself on scale, they are pretty much right on, I think. Maybe if anything, a touch small. But the detail is, this is where it is at. If you are into highly detailed stuff, I mean, you're not going to find this 325i from any other. You're not going to find it with Auto World or Greenlight or Johnny Lightning. If you do find it with Hot Wheels or Matchbox, it's not going to be nearly as accurate. So limited vintage is where it's at. The problem is that for what you pay for them, you know, it's like finding a chase car, a super treasure hunt, or an ultra red. The last one here is a casting that I already have. I just like this one better. Tomica 2000 GT Skyline. And I actually will probably sell the other one that I have. The other one that I have, only difference is just different paint job. But the detail and everything is still exactly the same. So this is cool. Here's the box. I'm going to put the box back in the box. It's a really big box for such a small car. But it was still sold at the same price, so that was, I thought, pretty cool. This is taped on here. There we go. If you guys watch Lamley Group, he has this car. He has shown this car. I mean, this car is really sick. Wooden steering wheel, white wall tires. Not sure in this case, just because I'm not familiar with the car, if that is supposed to replicate a vinyl top. I would imagine it probably is. Awesome detail. So if any of you are interested in one of these in silver, and also a Ferrari in black from Kyosho, I might be willing to deal those. So it was another fun day. Meeting Jeff was pretty cool. The guy's got a ton of knowledge, and I know a lot of you guys already know who he is. In fact, one of you guys told me after watching my videos, seeing me kind of get into the Kyosho and Tomica stuff, told me to check him out on Instagram, and I knew who he was because he's the guy that I get my stuff from. And he was in California originally, then he relocated. I don't know if he went to Indiana before he came here, or if I don't know how that all worked, or if he was in Indiana and then went to California and then came here. But he specializes, he's a collector, but he specializes in bringing this type of diecast to the U.S. market. And I don't think there are too many people doing that, because, and if they are, they're not selling on eBay, because almost every Kyosho or Tomica that you find on eBay is coming from overseas. So to have someone bring them over in large quantities to try to save some of us some money on the castings, I think is pretty cool. So it ended up being a pretty good couple days, I think, for haulage. Some ultra reds, some really cool, interesting stuff, some nice green light stuff. I've got some other stuff on the way. I made a purchase from, shout out to @FreeThePiece. I don't collect Hot Wheels. Looking forward to getting that. I'll make a video when I get that stuff. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be stuck here with my mess of stuff. It's never ending. It doesn't seem like I can ever get this cleaned up and organized. But for some reason, I continue to try to get it cleaned up and organized. Anyways, the next step for me... Oh, by the way, what were these numbered to? I just saw Pooch Man's little rant on Volkswagen trucks. I need to see... Pooch, if you watch my videos, if I come across them, I'll pick them up for you. I've got some guys locally that have some that they're not asking a whole ton. I mean, they're definitely making money. I think these were numbered in the 7,000s, but just to let you guys know, these ones I picked up today, these are only numbered to like 3,800, so it's pretty limited. It's almost like RLC production numbers, which most of the stuff they've been putting out lately has been 9,800. Some of it 6,800. They're kind of all over the place, actually. But you know, if 3,800, if they make, I don't know anything about the chase cars in this run, but if they're limited to 750, you know, that's 20% of your production run. That's, to me, that's not a good ratio. When, you know, when Auto World and Greenlight are doing them at 2%. So I'll have to look into that. Not that I care too much what M2 is doing, but I did think that that looked enough, eye-appealing enough for me to grab it, along with all this other stuff. So next step is pictures for Instagram, and I'll probably lose some more followers after posting another 30 or 40 pictures. Seems like for every 5 followers I gain, I lose one, and I don't really care. I just kind of use that for my diecast photos. So that's what I'm going to do. But I do appreciate all the support from all of my YouTube subscribers and viewers. I appreciate any kind of feedback, so contact me if you have any questions, if you have anything to say, good or bad. And like I said, I'll be doing a video here relatively soon where I will take you all with me to my local shop, and we will do a hunt, and you can see kind of where I go. I would like to think every city would have a place like this so that all you guys can go out and do the same thing and collect and be the enthusiasts that you are. Because finding them at Walmart and Target is just not enough. But anyways, that's the video. I will holler at the next one. You all take care.